host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is Express Yourself with the Professor. Call in and participate at 326.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. I do humbly apologize for the slight delay today. I was caught in all that heat, Bahamians, and that is no pleasant experience at all. I hope that never happens again. I am concerned about those persons who have to wake in this blistering heat. I was just passing through. And the tremendous volume of heat that is pumping out there, more than 100 degrees high. That means a lot of our people can get sunstroke. They're going to get sick. I appeal to employees to speak to their employers and let them change the time you ought to be working, because this doesn't make any sense at all. Look what happened yesterday. 2 persons on a construction job in this blistering heat got into an argument. And I don't know what weapon was used, but some object was used to strike someone across the head. And then the individual wasn't satisfied with that, but put several stab wounds into the individual who he was fighting with. And that particular individual is seriously ill, as reports have come to me, in the hospital. And Bahamians are very disappointed that we have our men closer to fighting, injuring one another seriously, and destroying each other. Bahamians, we have to avoid that. See, these employers cannot heal you when you're sick, and they can't raise you from the dead. So I'm going to appeal to employees, talk to your employers and let them know the urgency of changing the times. Because many of you are going to die from sunstroke. That heat is excessive out there. I went through it for the first time today. I just got caught in it. And Bahamians is not a pleasant experience. I was just getting the tip of the iceberg. Some of you have to work in this environment every single day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. Who is protecting the workers? What kind of protocols and benefits are in place to protect the workers who have to work outside during the day? And I said it should be changed early morning, late afternoon, after sundown. That's all you have to do is change the time so as to save lives. We cannot wait until someone is dead. Then we start figuring around what we want to do. The life would have already been lost. And unfortunately, with us as Bahamians, we always let things get out of hand before we even think about doing something about it. And there's a long rowing session. And at the end of the rowing session, nothing gets done. Bahamians have been rowing for more than 52 years. And conditions in this country have worsened. Every single day it gets worse and worse. You have to examine the people who you gave authority to run your national affairs and your constituency affairs. It's not good, Bahamians. Some of you have been encouraged to speak up, but you're not speaking up at all. You're not getting actively involved on the ground. See, speaking up is one thing. You can make your complaints known on the radio. The radio is there, the television is there, social media is there. But from what I can understand and see, we are not using these mediums for the advancement of people. We use them for gossip, rumor, and hearsay, and that's not good at all. We have to care for each other, Bahamians. And you young men out there, I want to especially appeal to you. Please, if you have a dispute with someone and it's beyond your ability to solve it, because most of you have proven yourself incapable of settling disputes. Look how many times the commissioners of police, including this latest one, have been encouraging our young men to settle their differences peacefully. They don't know how to do that. It is clearly evident over the last 52 years, our young men do not know how to settle disputes peacefully. Now, how did they get like this? Someone ready to stab someone, shoot someone, beat someone to death. Where did we get that from? That is not the psyche of the Bahamians that I know, that grew up with me. That's not the way we settle disputes. Even among my own family members, there are differences of opinion, different views, but we do not resort to injuring one another because the other person has a different point of view. We don't do that. My mother and father taught us well. What they instilled in us has stayed with us right on up to this day. And Bahamians, we have to help our young men to settle disputes. Now, it would be a good thing. Persons who know these individuals, who put diapers on them, who brought them up, to first communicate with them. If mommy and daddy cannot do it, then mommy and daddy got to find someone else who could reach them. It's just as simple as that. Too many of you as parents have become like buddies to your children. I could never, ever have no buddy-buddy relationship with my mother and father. Any VR. I was always their child. And they had 12 children to look after. And did an excellent job. I do miss them, you know. I still believe they're here because of the way they taught me and 11 others. 12 signifies completion. 12 is a complete number. The 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 gates on the New Jerusalem. The 12 apostles. 12 is a complete number. And Bahamians, we have to help our young men who don't know how to settle disputes. Now, I'm suggesting very strongly, I don't like what happened yesterday. These two were fighting in this massive heat. Tempers are going to flare in this heat wave. You don't take anything for granted. Now someone is seriously ill in hospital as a result of this confusion. I hope and pray that he does survive. It would be a tragedy to lose another young man. They're not even getting as young as I am. And I keep telling them that all the time. What happened to us? How we get like this? I'm encouraging parents, please communicate with your children. Do not have a buddy-buddy relationship with them. You must always remember you are in charge, you are the father, you are the mother, and children will always be just that, children. It doesn't mean you don't respect them because they get older or they're grown up. I'm not talking about that at all. But I will always be my mother's son. I will always be my father's son. Of course, I could talk to them, communicate with them, but there was no buddy-buddy relationship. And when they set the law down, that was it. There was no discussion. You don't have to decide on anything. What they said goes. That's the man of the house. And I wish we had more fathers like my father. But we don't. He's a rare breed. I even see cracks in my own family. My extended cousins, first cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and others who I know personally. You see the cracks. That's not a good sign, Bahamians. We are losing our families. I even see it in the church. I remembered grandmother and grandfather, grandchildren, and the children all coming to church. Now they have grown, they have their jobs, they went away to school. All of a sudden, you don't see them anymore. They get so busy with their technology. When we had an event at my brother's house, my baby brother's house, the children texting one another, not communicating verbally. What kind of crap is that? Is that the way we're going to live in this world? Is that the way we want it to be? God speaks to us audibly through his word. And we hear what he has to say. This texting has its place and time, but Bahamians, we're not using the technology to our advantage. There's just too much violence among our young people. We have to help them. And I will put my life on the line that I'm prepared to do what I can, provided they are willing. I can't compel them against their will. They have free choice, even as God allows all of us to have free choice. But I don't believe they want to live like that. I don't think any young man in this country wants to keep killing other young men. I don't believe it. What is happening? And they believe, perhaps, that someone did something to them, somebody dished them or said something to them, and they got to get back. I got to have the last say. The last say could put you right in your grave. It has happened to many people. And sometimes it is better to just move away, walk away. Don't mind what they call you any names. Don't worry about that. You still got your life. I've had to do that many times, Bahamians. I had to give up my right for other people's wrong. You have to suffer for righteousness' sake. Not for stupidity, not for doing something that's wrong. Now this individual will have to be charged before the courts. And if this young man dies, and I pray he doesn't, he'll be charged with murder. And that's a long, drawn-out process. And we have so many young men who are charged with murder and attempted murder. You got plenty of them out on bail. Of course, I have to talk about Nikki Kelly. I don't know that much about her, but I just heard it today that she had passed. I believe they said she was 92, 93, somewhere around there. I didn't quite get the exact figure. But they said she was a fast journalist, one who would dissect information. I heard the politicians making some remarks. Why don't we say these nice things about people when they're living? Nikki Kelly lived to be 92, 93, somewhere around there. We should have given her flowers while she was alive, not when she's dead. And with politicians who talked about her, I'm going to go to a break because I hear music in the background. I do apologize for the delay, Bahamians, but that heat That heat is extremely terrible. I'm not going through that ever again. So I'll have to get someone to come and get me. That's just the way it has to be, because I want to be on time. Because you know your show is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Tomorrow I will be here on time, early, rain or shine. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. I heard about the passing of Nikki Kelly. She was a fast journalist. And the only people I heard talk about her were the politicians, the political personalities. What about you in the community? What do you have to say about Nikki Kelly? You know and I know that there were those in the media who left the media and went elsewhere. They said they couldn't stay. The political personalities say there's a void in the media. Yes, there is a void, a big one too. And it must be filled, Bahamians. And it has to be private media like Global Radio 99.5 FM. You see, that's why I asked you to give me your support. All of them went working for the government. Every single one of them. Even the fellow got his own radio station, his own television station, big time position with the government. How objective could he be? He cannot be objective. Getting big time contracts from the government. You see, this is what happens, Bahamians, when you compromise yourself. Well, they say they couldn't stay there because they wasn't making enough money. That's what they tell me. But all your media, your serious media people, gone all at one time. And the government just gobbled them all up, put them in different positions, just create new positions for them, all kinds of positions. Ambassadorial positions, plenty of them working overseas. City's ambassador, representative for the country. Signing papers, don't even know the heck they're signing. So what's going to happen to the media, Bahamians? Who is going to check upon the government of the Bahamas and the opposition when they step out of line? Who's going to do it? Where are the Nikki Kellys of 2025? Where's the Darrell Miller? See, Darrell Miller was there too, he's deceased. Darrell Miller was a fierce journalist. We didn't give him his flowers while he was alive. They always wait till these people are dead, and then we come with these flowery words. The very same people who ridicule and criticize them while they were alive now saying these flowery words. You think they're serious about anything? Bahamians, let me give it to you straight. The country needs a very strong, independent media in radio, in television, in print, and other forms of platforms that are out there, independent of the government. You're going to have to harshly criticize the government. Do you understand how serious that is? Because the government of the Bahamas has made all kinds of serious mistakes. Where are the media people who are telling them about it? Are you telling them about their national sins? God says, cry aloud. That's one. Spare not. That's two. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. That's three. And show my people, that's the people of God, their transgressions, and the Bahamian people their sins. People don't like to talk about sin. And the government has committed all kinds of sins and still committing sins. But we don't want to tell them. We want to be pussyfooting around. Bahamians, you have to help Professor Sidney Walter Thompson to be part of a strong, vibrant, independent media. And it takes your long-standing support. I'm not backing from that. I'm here until Christ come back. Professor ain't going nowhere. So you got to put up with him. Someone has to do it, Bahamians. And I'm not saying only Professor one has to do it. No. We need fierce people who will be fearless. Where are they? And all of them run to the government, say they want a government job. And the government absorb all of them. You know that? Every single one has been absorbed. I know there's one broadcast personality shifted from one position to another position, got a different position now. What's going to happen when the government loses in an election? We got all kinds of people out there who got contracts, government jobs. You see how busy the government is, say, hiring people? All kind of hiring. One media house is packed with cousins, sons, and daughters of employees working in the same place. All of them getting paid off the payroll just to cover a job. Is that the kind of media you want? You want a lapdog media? Is that what you want, Bahamians? One who is not fair, one who is not right, but you speak honestly and truthfully. You don't have to lie on anybody. You just say it the way it is. You don't want the media to do that. When the government is doing a pile of crap, you want us to praise up the government of the Bahamas? The answer is no. You ain't getting that from me. I might as well tell you that right now. You'll never see it. Now I'm going to lie on them because God does not tell lies. I'm going to follow what God tells me to do. But I ain't taking for them up either. We need a strong, independent media that would be balanced, that will tell the truth the way it is. You'll be fair to the opposition, you'll be fair to the government. You don't take sides. And so people always want to know, is that professor, what side is he on? I'm on no sides. I don't take sides. Because being in broadcasting, you cannot take sides. It's just as simple as that. That's why I tell everyone go all the rallies. And that's why I ask for your support for these rallies, you know. This is serious business. This election could either make or break the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Do you understand how serious that is? The people have to get the correct information in order to make sound decisions and good judgments. You could play around and dilly-dally around and talk foolishness and nonsense, and the country's going to fall apart, Bahamians. We don't have that much time. The election is in 2026, and some serious decisions have to be made by the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as to what direction the country ought to take. You can't wait until after the election, and you talk a lot of crap and foolishness prior to the election, instead of getting to know what kind of decisions you need to make. Famous, you have to make some very serious decisions. But I'm going to be right here to help you to do that. Because I don't like what I see happening. I see wholesale suffering. I see families falling apart. I see communities falling apart. I see constituencies falling apart. And I suppose to be satisfied with that crap. I know I passed through one just before coming to this radio station. And they have all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems, Bahamians. Is this the way you're going to live for the next 52 years? We are not doing enough to improve the quality of life. We have to make some hard decisions. It's not who you like, Bahamians, it's who is fit for the job. Because if you keep giving jobs to people you like, they can keep disappointing you because they know they can't perform, they cannot fulfill. You got to stop that foolishness. Just tell them no. You don't qualify, so you can't get the job. But we don't do these things. We keep giving it, that's my friend, that's my cousin, that's my sister's husband. You gotta stop the foolishness, Bahamians. They will never appreciate you when you behave like that. They'll take it from you, but they don't appreciate you. They'll smile in your face and cut your throat, but they don't appreciate you. So you tell them straight the answer is no. You don't qualify, you don't get the job. What's wrong with that? Bahamians, we have some very serious problems. You see all these people in this country who are here, there's been no massive deportation of illegal aliens out of this country. None. So what is the government waiting on? Every time you look around, you see strangers, foreigners, aliens, outsiders. So what are we going to do about it? This current administration is not doing a crap about the illegal immigration problem in this country. But some people will do something about it. You could be assured of that. If they think they can sit on their backside and let us just accept the crap from them, they can have another story coming. Those of us who know better must do better. We have to save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I believe you have a caller on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Sidney. Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you're strong today. With Nikki Kelly, yeah, she was really a fearless lady.
Yes.
And in media today, basically we got a bunch of fearful people in the media. You know that, right?
Well, I'll tell you this. The media has been gutted badly, and all of them are working for the government of the Bahamas. Every friggin' one of them.
Yeah, but looking at, he's talking about not even the ones who've gone, the ones who are in media presently. it's like freedom of speech, there ain't no freedom. Hindrance is the one because the mere fact that, beg your pardon?
Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Okay,
The mere fact that you simply can't call in and speak exactly what you saw. You can't say what it is. You can't call a person's name. You know, it's all esoteric and it doesn't really make no sense because the mere fact, I mean, i.e., when listening to your show, when they hear you speak, right, you selectively don't call anybody's name except the Bahamian people, which, I mean, basically, it's irate me because the mere fact that Bahamian people, you put all of us in one role and you shouting at us and blaming Bahamian. You say Bahamian, but you don't say, like, person's names, like politicians, and you know, because I mean, women sometimes can no lie, right? In life, if you can't speak for what is allowed.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but I think you're off on that point because I do call the names of those who've been given the authority to run the place. You know that.
I listen to your show every day. You know,
You never hear me call anyone's names?
You selectively, you don't call in there because you don't want to be accountable.
Wait a minute, hold on, caller. You got it wrong. If their names in the public domain, I call their names in the public domain. What you mean I don't call their names?
You say the personality or the individual. That's what
those who have been given the authority to run this place. Do you know who they are? Those sitting in the House of Assembly, those sitting in the cabinet, those who are appointed as ambassadors, all of them.
Yeah. But
now, how you mean I don't call their names? Come on, caller. Be fair.
I listen to your show, right? I listen to your show every day, even though I don't call. Sometimes I say because you hang up on me and this and that because I don't know what's going on, right? But honestly, Thompson, your show be a good show, but you need to call these people name. You're like almost chicken. They don't call the name. I'd be like, hold on, man. What? These people names need to be said. Don't say the individual. Call their name. Call their name. Call their name.
Caller, listen to me carefully. I do call the names. You just aren't listening carefully. Those who sit in the House of Assembly, do you know who they are?
If I know who they are?
Yeah. Do you know who they are?
Yeah, I know who they are.
Well,
I can call their name. I call their name. It's not going to show how bad it is, right? You know, because I tell you no lie, right? Things in this country, it's really just depressing. And
yes, they are like, depressing, caller. I agree with you.
This thing where this hindrance of speech thing, right? Where
who's hindering you from speaking?
What do you mean? You got the big bad, right? Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this way because the children can hear this Thompson. Let's keep it real. You know, caller, these children, yes, sir.
There are some things we are not allowed to say on the air. We have to go according to the rules.
Yeah.
This station, management, gives me the freedom to speak freely without interference. Mm-hmm. But there are certain rules that I have to abide by.
Certain words you can't say. Certain words cannot be said.
No.
But in America, they use it.
No, that's America. That ain't nothing to do with us.
So we don't call it nothing American.
We go by the Constitution, caller.
So
what's wrong with you?
Okay. I understand, Mr. Thompson. So even though our Constitution we go by, right? And you know, we have America next door. We have a Constitution. We go by our Constitution. America sees something. Hold on. We want this. We want that. Blah, 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 blah. We do. We alter whatever it is. We have our Constitution to basically, you know, America. They run things, and we have to just little boy just beat.
No, we don't have to do that.
It's nothing, you know. We don't have to.
No, but see,
that's what actually happens.
Caller, listen carefully. It's the people you have running things. That's the problem.
Yeah. Hey, okay, Mr. Thompson, I want to go into a different thing right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Thompson, I've been going in certain areas over the weekend, basically recently, right? And I tell you no lie, right? What's happening in this country is really backwards, upside down. Because if you can't pave your front strip, I'm talking about Bay Street, Shirley Street, all the Fire Trail Road, all these, I'm talking about runway grade. You can land a plane on it, absolutely smooth, great. But Bay Street, Shirley Street, my concept of why Shirley Street is not being paved is the mere fact that we have a foreign affairs minister, Mr. Thompson, I could call his name Fred Mitchell, right? He's running this personal game with America. You know, they built their embassy, right? Long time, right? Don't you think the Bahamas government should have the decency and the courtesy to just pave Shirley Street, pave Bay Street, the main strip where all the tourists and everybody come? No, they see it fit. It's politics time now. See it fit to be paving Cowpen Road, paving on Fire Trail Road, paving all in the backyard. You know, because it's election, and even paving places like the Cartwright garages. We have to do better in this country, Mr. Thompson. These politicians have to do better. Because guess what? At the end of the day, with the situation I told you with Shirley Street, with the U.S. Embassy, right? I mean, how horrible it looks. Fred Mitchell, you know, he has this personal thing against America, right? And I mean, how nasty it looks. I mean, the brand new building in front of the Haitian Embassy, but you know what? In front of the Chinese Embassy, Slick Road, right? This person they just stop.
But you have a minister of works who's responsible.
The minister of works, we have a minister of works. We also have a minister of foreign affairs who's greater than the minister of works and also the chairman of the chairman of the party.
What do you mean?
Too much power. You know, and you know they need to stop and tell America, stop the behemoths of getting this free pass to just walking into America and not to be like treated like Jamaica and the other Caribbean countries, you know.
Why you want it to be treated like that?
Mr. Thompson, that's what's going to happen because of our foreign policy, our foreign affairs minister and his personal gripe against America. Who this man is? You know, Mr. Thompson goes so bad. I listened to the radio this morning and they talking about the money they borrow money from some African bank because you know they're looking for other place to get money from.
Yes, I heard that.
Mr. Thompson, want me to tell you something? You know why? We gotta stop playing games with America. America is our only ally in this area. Who we can turn to? Not China. China can't bring nothing here to help us and defend this country. America won't allow it. But this Fred Mitchell playing games and things, it doesn't make no sense. You know? It don't make no sense.
Okay.
And he just allowed pave Shirley Street, pave Bay Street. Why these other back roads in the back of nowhere being paved when our front strip have all the tourists and it's ridiculous.
Okay.
And it's allowed. And Graham sitting right there, you know, he should know better. You know, you pave your front strip before you pave your back road.
Say the Prime Minister or Mr.
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Philip Brave Davis.
I beg your pardon?
Don't use a nickname. Just say Mr. Davis.
Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Philip Brave Davis.
Mr. Thompson. See, this is the same thing, but I'm calling talk, so you know. I ain't disrespect that man in no way.
No. I'm saying you used the word brave, right?
He called himself brave.
No. Just say Mr. Davis.
Mr. Thompson, you can't tell me what to say. Okay. Everyone know who he is. Why are you doing this to me, Mr. Thompson? I'm on the caller. Come on, Mr. Thompson, grow up.
All right, okay.
Have a nice day.
You have a pleasant day. See, this is the problem when you give people freedom to speak. You show utter contempt to your leaders. You may disagree with your leaders. I disagree with them too. I don't use a nickname on Mr. Davis. I don't use a nickname on Mr. Mitchell. I respect the fact that they're in the particular office. I don't have to agree with things that they do. The Bahamian people have elected an administration to carry out the functions of the government. Now, in the caller's mind, he believed that Mr. Mitchell is spiting the U.S. Embassy. And I heard the remark that was said on radio today about getting money from another bank. I heard that remark from Mr. Mitchell. What role the government is doing, and he's saying America is our greatest ally, and America won't allow this, America won't allow that. What I try to get people to understand is this. As a nation, we have to make decisions for ourselves, not to please the President of the United States. I wouldn't want a government that is going to be bowing and shanking to the United States of America. The United States government has no jurisdiction in the Commonwealth of Bahamas. You don't see that in the Constitution. He is the President of the United States of America, not the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. two separate nations with two separate administrations, two different systems. The kind of system they run in the United States is totally different from what we have over here. Now, the caller has that view that the Foreign Affairs Minister is spiting the U.S. Embassy. The street has not been paved. Shirley Street, where the embassy is. The road could use some paving, and Bay Street too. The two roads are in bad shape. And he's saying it's Fred Mitchell. I don't know about that. But that's his view. But I heard him talk about getting money from an African bank. I don't know all the circumstances around it. Even if you disagree with your leaders, you must and you ought to show respect to your leaders. You don't have to be disrespectful. The people elected them as ministers or gave them the authority to be ministers, gave them authority to run the country, even if they're messing it up. We know that a lot of people are getting citizenship who do not qualify, and the government is complicit with it. We know that. That's why we have appealed to the Supreme Court to make a judgment on this matter. That was done well over a year ago. And it remains to be seen how much more time the Supreme Court is going to be wasting and not dealing with this urgent matter. It's a very serious matter. It could either make or break the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The government of the Bahamas has been giving out strips of paper, what they call citizenship certificates, granting citizenship to people who cannot qualify. Do you understand how serious that is? There's no naturalization in this country. The Constitution doesn't support it. That's what people need to understand. Now, if the government is gung-ho on doing what they want to do, then we must get busy and start doing what we have to do to save the country. That's how you fight them. We can't just keep complaining all the time, and the caller has the right to express his views. See, I gave him the opportunity to express his views, but he said there's no freedom of speech. We have plenty of freedom of speech in this country. We just have to know how to use it. Freedom of speech and freedom to associate with others doesn't mean you have a right to denigrate and destroy people's character. And he said, I don't call their names. Those who listen to this show know better than that. I do call the names of persons that are in the public domain. And sometimes I make a general statement about those who have been given the authority to run this country. Sometimes I go right to the particular personality who may be a minister in the cabinet and speak directly to that particular position. I've done that over and over and over again. Yet he's saying, I don't call anyone's name. You only call names when it is necessary to so do. There are plenty out there who have been hired by the government to do the bidding of the government of the Bahamas. You see the massive role that we have now, the large string of activities that the government is putting in place. Say they're providing jobs, giving stipends to young people, creating employment for them. This is all in preparation for election. This is nothing new. We have not done anything to change the laws. So the government of the day is doing just what they've been doing. Former administrations have been doing it. They have done it before. The FNM has done it. Now the PLV is doing it. So what are we going to do about it? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. What are we prepared to do about it? And yet the caller is saying, I don't call their names. That's his view. And he got the opportunity to express his view. But when I said to him, do not call a particular individual by a particular name, that's not the name of the individual. Give the person the correct name, not a nickname. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. And when you call my show, you hear me say it all the time. Some stubborn people out there don't get it. You don't call me by my first name on my show because I'm going to cut you. You say Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. I repeat that over and repeatedly, and you still don't get it? I'm not a child. I'm acting in a professional capacity, and I respect to be treated in a professional capacity. Don't come around calling my show about using my first name. Don't do that to me. I detest that. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. We'll be back after the break. We need a strong media. That's why I asked you to support me. With the rallies, I said, send me an email, the state of the nation, 242@gmail.com. Put your phone numbers on the email, and I'll get back to you on it. Because we need support for the radio show. We need sponsors for the radio show. You want me to stay on the air? And I appreciate that. You say you love the show, you like what's being said, fine. But it takes money to keep the show on air. Let's get that straight. It takes funding to do town meetings. We have to do town meetings. It takes funding to do other things. I told you about the research group. 49 people are needed. Bahamians, there's a lot of stuff that has to be digged up. You can't look at it from the surface. I need 49 people who I can put to work just to get information, to do interviews, to get accurate and precise information. That's why we have to go to the rallies. The rallies are just one aspect of this business, Bahamians. We have to be right there. Because then the man come back and say, he ain't say that. That's artificial intelligence. We have to be there to get it the way he said it and how he said it. So we have it in our archives. Can't depend on them other fellas. And they might leave some words out and doctor the tape. Now I heard Fred Mitchell, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, on the air. And he was talking about Junkanoo. The Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence had made a decision, and they told their members not to participate in Junkanoo during Emancipation Day. They're not to support any rush, no Junkanoo activity. Let me just say this. I understand from the public relations man, it was one person who voted against it. All the Junkanoo groups in the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence voted not to participate in the Junkanoo celebrations. They had their reasons for so doing. Yet you had Mr. Fred Mitchell telling people they should come and support Junkanoo in Falkville on Emancipation Day. What people fail to understand is this. When the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence made a decision, that was a unanimous decision, near unanimous, except one person or one group that didn't vote for it. Groups need to understand you must stand with your organization. Stop listening to political talk. Just stop. You who support the Junkanoo group, you ain't supposed to be in Foxhill. You ain't supposed to be present there at all. See, if everyone was like me, there'll be not a living soul on Foxhill Park. You stay away. Let the police go and dance for them if they want to dance. Let them do the Junkanoo. But you are not supposed to be there. So what you doing there? So I'm talking about they're going to go see. I say you don't have to go to see nothing. Stay home. That's what you do. All you're going to end up doing is hurting yourself. Junkanoo has been in the doldrums for the last 52 years. Don't you think it's about time we get on our feet to get some things done? That's what the JCNP is trying to do. And they made a decision. Why are Junkanoo participants and Junkanoo fans going against the JCNP? That doesn't make any sense. There's some things, Bahamians, you have to sacrifice for if you're going to get it. You have to make some hard decisions. And I heard the minister Fred Mitchell talking about those persons who suffered lack of funding. They didn't get their wares sold. They had a drop in sales and all that. And they felt it had to do with the Junkanoo Corporation and New Providence. They ain't supposed to get 1 cent. The Junkanoo people ain't supposed to be there, and the fans are not supposed to be there. What the heck you doing there? You support the Junkanoo Corporation and New Providence. This is a major problem with us as Bahamians. We don't learn to understand that you have to pull together as a team. I always quote Article 24:1. It was a unanimous decision with the exception of one group. So why are you not following what the Junkanoo Corporation told itself, what they were planning to do? I'm sure that the leaders were to tell their members and tell their fans. I think you should support them. You just can't be doing foolishness, Bahamians, and expect anything to happen, because it ain't gonna work. You are the ones who are going to suffer. When the political personality is ready to kick your backside to the curb, they will do it and think nothing about it. They've done it many, many times because you let yourself be in the way to be kicked to the curb. You still keep bowing and shanking before political masters. Even if you ain't got bread in your house. How stupid we could be. But that's our problem. If you don't pull together, nothing is going to happen for Junkanoo. Nothing. They'll keep riding you until Christ returns. It's the participants. And I listened to the public relations man on the radio. What he said, that the corporation made a decision. It's not a one-man decision. But some of you say you're still going. I'm going to go see what happened. You ain't got to go nowhere. Just simply stay away. And you tell the vendors, we're not participating in anything with emancipation. Just stop. It will have a major impact on the country. But I also heard the Minister of Sports and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. That's political talk, Bahamians. When they are ready to do things, they don't even consult with you. Do you know that? See with the land legislation. There was no consultation with the Bahamian people. That's the way they do things. They have discussion among themselves down Cable Beach somewhere in air-conditioned surroundings while you got to be out in this blazing heat. Then they come, bring it to the house, debate it, pass it. Now it's over. No consultation with the average Bahamian. You get left out in the cold. That is what the government wanted to do. They did it. You have to stand up and say no. When the government of the Bahamas does anything that's contrary to the best wishes of the Bahamian people, you have to tell them no. And you have to show them no. You have to be organized to do that. But you let them take advantage of you. That's not the way to run a country, Bahamians. It doesn't make any sense. You have constitutional rights, freedoms, and privileges that you've never used. It's right in the Constitution. You never used it. And so we have to get serious because we have to save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now, it's a lot of work that I have to do myself personally. And like I said, we're going to ask for your support. Please send me that email. 7,000 or more of you right now today. Send me that email, the state of the nation 242 at gmail.com. Please put your phone numbers on the email. I'm going to ask my team to work on this for me. We need your support, Bahamians. The media has been gutted. It has to be revived, Bahamians. Nikki Kelly is dead. And all you hear was some talk from some political personalities. What about you who have been reading her articles? What do you have to say about this? We've lost a giant in media. Darrell Miller was a giant in media. Of course, we had Rodney Monka, who was on radio, and he's deceased. You can wait until these people are dead before you say anything about them. I am suggesting that you stand with them today and give them their flowers while they're alive. Today, not tomorrow, not next week. What kind of foolishness is that? And you stand with them when they are right according to law. You need to know what the law says. What does the Constitution say? And too many of you don't know it, but I'm happy to know that you're beginning to learn it. That's a wonderful thing. So I'm happy that you're moving in that direction. Maybe there's plenty to learn. Plenty to learn. And I'm going to deal specifically with the articles that deal with governing this place. Because the government of the Bahamas has been violating the Constitution for 52 years from its very inception. Do you understand how serious that is? That's treasonous. Are we taking it lightly? All of the attorney generals have been wrong. They've given bad advice to the government of the Bahamas. That's why I'm in the predicament we're in. One mistake after another has got us in the predicament we're in. Now, who's standing up and telling them that? I can prove it. And I'm going to go very deep, because I've done it before and I'll do it again. Because it has to be said, we need change in this country. We need a national government that can solve problems. We need a national government that's going to go and run things according to the Constitution. But you decided to give these people power and authority. You don't even check up on them. You let them run amok. And that's what they've been doing for 52 years. And you see how many people have lived and died over that period of time. They had high hopes in the persons they elected to run this place. And their hopes were dashed to the ground. Do you know that? Someone was misleading and deceiving them. Election after election after election. That's why some people say they don't want to vote no more. Scripture says, I can give you 2 points what a representative ought to have. Number one, a representative ought to be willing to die for his constituents. Do you understand how serious that is? He must be willing, or she must be willing, to give their lives for the constituents in that particular constituency. Do you know any of them like that? Do you see any of them following the example of Jesus, where Jesus gave up every single thing to be the Savior of humanity? You think they could rise to that level? Taking care of the needs of those people, to become the slave of the constituents in that particular constituency. How many of them are slaves to their constituents? In other words, all the problems of those constituents, they take it on their back and deal with it. That's what an MP is supposed to be doing. And then, of course, you as constituents, you back that particular personality. Because that person is working on your behalf. You can't just be sitting down doing nothing. The representative must be prepared to give his life for those constituents. And if they aren't ready to do that, then you don't elect them. Because you've had too much crap over the last 52 years. And there's a way to find out whether they are really genuine or not. That's point number one. The representative must be willing to sacrifice himself for the sake of those constituents in that particular constituency. You see any of them doing that today? That's what we're going to need in the next general election. Those are the kind of people we need to put in the House. Not these jokers who are doing foolishness and nonsense. Number two, Scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You elect wicked people, it ain't wicked Bahamians, because Proverbs 29:2 says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You ain't giving no righteous people authority to run this place. Where's the rejoicing? I see people crying and mourning every friggin' day. Before I came here, I passed through a particular community, and all they're doing is sadness, mourning, crying, waiting for the particular representative to assist them. Time is up on all of them, and they ain't got no help yet. I'm saying to you, one, the representative must be willing to die for his constituents. If they ain't ready to do that, Bahamians, you don't elect them. That's point number one. Jesus gave his life so you and I could receive eternal life. Because we couldn't do it for ourselves. That's what the representative is supposed to do. He's supposed to do for you what you couldn't do for yourself. He said he want to be leader. Well, then let's make him leader then. And all he can do is just fatten his own pocket at your expense, and you can accept that crap. When you should be helping you to have a better way of life. So that's the first qualification for leadership. Number two, he must be righteous. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Bahamians, if the fella ain't righteous, don't elect him. Don't elect her. So I give you two qualifications. I can give you some more. Based on the Constitution, based on the Holy Bible. If they are not prepared to sacrifice their lives, don't elect them. You could know that ahead of time if this person is ready for that. You will see it in their behavior. You will see it in their actions. That they're ready, willing to take over this community and help the people in that community. Don't let them come grinning up and talking crap in your ears. Tell them put the money where the mouth is. So you got 2 points. I'll be doing some more as I go forward. I am not taking this election lightly. I can be right on the ground. I can be right in the community. And I got 2 questions for those who are sitting there right now. Just 2. And I will ask you, the constituents, you who live there, you ought to be able to answer these 2 basic questions. And if ain't nothing happening, then you have to do something about it, Bahamians. I don't know why we keep playing games. Either you have a righteous representative or you have a wicked representative. One or the other. That's what Proverbs 29:2 says. When the righteous in authority, something happens. The people rejoice. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. I went to this particular community, all the people just mourning all over the place. It's nothing happening for them. Is that the kind of representation you want? So you take your pick, Bahamians. You want to see things change? Then you go by your Constitution, you go by the Holy Scriptures. We can look at all the crap they're going to write in their manifesto and plans anyhow. Caller, you live on there. Go ahead, please.
Hi, hello?
Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Yeah, caller, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
Listening to your recourse or to what you were saying, one of the biggest problems in this country in regards to why we as a people are electing the same crew over and over again is number one is education. It is what I mean is that when you're talking about civics, and I'm talking about true civics, where it is not a part of the curriculum. I keep saying it is not a part of the curriculum.
You mean in the schools?
Pardon me?
In the schools?
Yes,
Don't wait
a
for
part
that.
of the curriculum, part of the curriculum in school,
Caller.
where we are not being taught. We are not being taught how governments are run,
Okay.
how governments operate,
Okay, fine.
how senators are elected, how bills are passed.
Caller.
What is a true representative? How do we choose true representation for your area or for your constituency? What is
Okay.
the constituency?
Caller, you answered a lot
All
of good
of these
questions,
things.
you know. You must have been listening to this show. That's all I can say. I am all with every question that come out of your mouth. Do not wait for the government of the Bahamas to answer those questions because they cannot do it. They had 52 years to do it. They haven't done it yet. You can still
I
wait for them.
agree. Well,
We have to find an alternative to what has happened for 52 years.
see, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir.
Forgive me for not giving you, not giving you your full name.
You could say Professor
respectfully.
Thompson. That'll be fine.
Our problem is that we have been indoctrinated and being dumbed down for so many years as to not to think. And like what the old saying is, do not pay attention. Do not pay attention to what I do, but pay attention to what I tell you.
Okay.
And where we have not been realized our value. Number one, as a citizen, what is our rights as a citizen, and what all of the benefits of a citizen that is entailed. We are being taught to not to think, but to just blindly and ignorantly follow what is being regurgitated to me without researching, without checking. And because we have been indoctrinated in that, and then also too, we have watched persons who have tried to do it, and they are victimized, and they are.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Hey, caller, I want you to go further into that. Who victimized them? Who victimized who?
Pardon me?
Who victimized who? Who tried to do what?
governments. If you allegedly, let me use that word.
Do you know of any?
Governments over the years.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you know of any persons who have been victimized? I'm not saying you must call any names now. We're just speaking to the issue. Okay, so you don't have to allege nothing. You know that there are people who have been victimized, taken advantage of. So you ain't got to allege nothing. You see me just come on this radio station talk about allegation, my foot.
Mm-hmm.
The government of the Bahamas has been violating the Constitution for 52 years. Do you understand how serious that is?
Yes, sir.
I can prove it.
Yes, sir. And I could prove it too.
Okay, then. All right.
I could I could prove it too because you and a number of others have caused me to go and research. And when I speak to people, I speak to people of the Constitution, and I not only speak to them of the Constitution, I give them the article, I give them the subsection to read. But our problem, sir, and this seems to be a pervasive thing in our country. If you want to hide something from a Bahamian,
put it in the book.
Put it in writing.
Okay.
Because they ain't gonna read. They ain't gonna go and research.
So that's why I'm glad you said it, and you're correct, caller. I'm not knocking. See, everything what you said on this show today, I have nothing against what you said because you're right on target. That's why I'm telling them to give me their support. I'll go through it and read it for them and put it on the air. All they got to do is get their earphones, their microphones, and listen to it. That's all they have to do. We need the support to bring the change. Otherwise, there'll be no change. And you talk about the dumbing down. I agree with you 100% on that. 52 years plus.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And also, I hear you talking about Bahamians coming together. You keep repeating Bahamians coming together to galvanize.
Yes.
And to come together and stand up for issues, righteous issues in this country.
That's correct.
Because we have not, most of us, because we have not been taught, and we have been taught to be divisionary.
Okay.
You know, to be a divided people.
Yes.
Such as okay, if you use a FNM, I use a PLP, we live in one house. But because you are for different persuasion or a different party, well, that's all we know. We ain't gonna come together. And there is a universal principle as to what Jesus Christ, the Son of God, said: a kingdom, a nation, a people that is divided shall not stand. That is a universal thing, and that is one of the devices in which the enemy of our soul does divide us. Because if he could keep us divided, he could control us.
But look how silly it is. One is in favor of one political party. One is in favor of another political party. But they're all Bahamians, right? Let's assume they're all Bahamians.
Yes, sir.
They're living in the same constituency. What is wrong with people coming together to choose the right person? Say, I'm making no mistake this time. The right person to be the next representative in that particular constituency. I'm going to use the Holy Bible and the Constitution to make that a reality.
Me too.
Because that's what we have to do now.
Yes, sir.
We have lost a lot of ground over the last 52 years.
Yes, sir.
And this is year 53.
And sir, sad to say that there are some persons who are not going to think because sad to say that there are some persons who are benefiting from the way things are.
How many people in this country?
Who are part of the problem? They will not do anything. They would be a part of the problem. They will fight because they benefiting.
Okay.
Sad to say, you have some persons who are benefiting.
Okay.
Who interested in contract.
I understand that because the government is giving out all kinds of contracts now. Even for the fellows who want to go to school, you get a stipend to go to school to learn. This happens all the time when there's a general election.
Yes, sir.
That's what's happening right now with the government of the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
They're using the taxpayers' money to campaign. Do we understand that?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's right in your face.
And that is unconstitutional.
It is unconstitutional.
And then, therefore, again, I have said, I heard a couple of days ago when you were talking about governments, but changing the government. I too, in a way, agree that we need to move to a republic, to a hybrid that suits the Bahamas, such as bringing an ombudsman, such as doing campaign finance reform, such as bringing Freedom of Information Act, such as introducing a sovereign wealth fund act where every Bahamian benefit from their natural resources, such as electing senators, the police, the head of police, where it will minimize or it will eliminate potential corruption.
Then you elect your ministers too, because the prime minister has enormous powers. You must realize
the prime minister in the system of government, in my opinion, has too much power. That's too much power, and when you have an individual has that too much power, any length of period of time, that person becomes corrupt.
Okay. You said it, caller. That's your view. You have a right to your view. And unfortunately, in this country, the office of prime minister is like a gigantic octopus that spreads its tentacles into every single facet of Bahamian life, right into your private bedroom. Do you understand how serious that is?
Yes,
when
sir.
I mentioned that on air for the first time, the person who heard me say that was very upset. I said, you don't have to believe it, but it's true. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
Every single facet of Bahamian life, the office of prime minister can dig right into it.
Yes, sir.
Lock, stock, and barrel. It has always been that way. From July the 10th, 1973, at 12 a.m.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, sir. Last but not least.
You got to move quickly, caller, because the music is on. Unless you want to hold, I'll let you hold if you want to. Mr. Bruce, we have another movement, right? Or this is not our last point.
Okay. Last point.
Okay, go ahead quickly.
You are talking about this upcoming election. I believe, sir, that this is the last election that we as the organic Bahamians are going to be the majority.
We better move quickly on it then.
Take this election seriously, because this is either like what Dr. Miles Monroe said before he died. If we vote wrong, we are going to go 50 years back.
Yeah, we don't
or
need that.
if we vote right, we are going 50
Caller,
years forward.
I appreciate you calling. I have to cut it right now because my producer is going to go to a break. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live. We'll return right Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. The caller made some very good points. I do not disagree with anything that the caller said. If we could have more callers like that. He had to be listening to the show. He said he started to do his own research, and I'm so delighted that he's been listening to the show and he's been doing his own research and talking to other people. Bahamians, this may very well be the very last time that we have to save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Don't take it lightly. I am going to go all out. That's why I'm asking for your support. We need sponsors for the radio show. We need sponsors for the persons who are going to have to be a team of 49. I need 49 people, 7 groups of persons to do interviews, to do research work. Bahamians, there are a lot of things I would like to communicate on, but I can't. We got to dig deep, Bahamians. This is very serious business. Call you live on here. Go ahead, please.
Professor, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Sir, do you believe in the myth of the black cat? I'm sorry. Black cat's bad luck and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I've heard it. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, I got a black cat right now. He's my best luck right now. And I never believed in black cats. But I always believe in the myths. Professor, every day I listen to your show, you remind us that this is the last election that we will have.
That's correct.
You follow me?
Yes,
and I
I
agree
do.
with you. I agree with you.
You got to make this
But
one count.
my question is with you, Professor. Do you believe your report from these rallies will be so conclusive and so truthful that it will change the minds of the Bahamian people, that we will elect the right way?
That's a good question. I like that kind of question.
Oh, yeah.
Once the Bahamian people give us the support. See, the media has been gutted. All of them left the media and went to work for the government of the Bahamas. That's where they all went. I heard one no longer
How
than
about
today.
your station, sir?
Pardon?
How about your station? Your station has its challenges under your last two.
Yes, it has had, yes. We have had the persons who were ahead of me, the two of them, now working for the government.
So we should believe your station now
What do you mean believe the station?
because Professor's there. And everybody loves Professor and believes in the Professor. But your station, who aired Ortland Bodie on the pandemic virus, have a lot of people right now questioning the guidance of your station that told us under Ortland Bodie to take that virus.
Well,
Now, Michelle Malcolm said no.
Stop right
Michelle
there.
said no.
Carlos, stop right there.
Yes, sir.
You see the disclaimer that is played every time the show comes on?
Sorry, say the question again for me.
You heard the disclaimer that comes on every time the show
Yes.
comes on?
The disclaimers, yes.
But that is important because the station allows the host of the show to speak freely. The
Yes,
station
sir.
does not.
Of course.
Yeah, but the station doesn't interfere with that.
So I wonder why you always thought you had to explain for people and apologize for people when your station has done that already.
What do you mean apologize for who?
If somebody said something wrong on the station, you always come back and say, I apologize to the Bahamian people. Don't you say that?
You mean if a caller says something?
Yes, say something.
No, well, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and I appreciate you for that. I'm not trying to challenge you.
No. I wasn't thinking about that.
Yes.
I wasn't thinking that at all. I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think what you're trying to say is challenging me at all.
Thank you very much. But
yeah, go ahead.
sometimes these people who we call conspiracy advocates
Yes.
or whatever, these people think out of the box, and when they speak, they're their word, a lot of people are offended. Now, what I call you about, Professor, is that you said, due to your coverage of these political rallies, you are the one to trust.
Okay.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I trust you personally.
Well,
Trust me,
once we get the support, because see, you're going to find artificial intelligence going to be dominant in the election campaign.
Absolutely.
I have to be there to
Yes.
have it live on the radio station and record everything that they say.
So your job is protecting the average person like myself
Exactly.
from artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Sir, I am an expert in that field, and I will show you that in a minute. But I got to tell you, through these conversations, like you're saying, artificial intelligence only identify more clearly, the truth of what we're seeing.
But the point is, it is being used to slander people's character. You had the chairman of the PLP talking about it.
Can I ask you in regard? Can you give me one example? Artificial intelligence slandered somebody.
What I'm saying,
I was not challenged.
Yeah, but what maybe they may not have challenged it. I don't know.
No, they're not, because
even what the Prime Minister had said, and even what Fred Mitchell himself, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, let me make sure I get it right. What he said, artificial intelligence, people making things up, saying it's him and it's not him. They did it to the Prime Minister. They did it to the Governor General. Come on, caller.
No, Professor, let me tell you what artificial intelligence is. More accuracy to the truth.
If you are telling lies on people, that's not truth.
Well, let me finish, sir. You remember when we used to scrape things on cave walls? Then we invented the paper. Today, you can't live without the paper. Today, we can't even live without the internet, because it's all the emails and WhatsApp are legal in courts. Right now, we go into artificial intelligence. So if a guy puts up a picture and says, I see this guy in a compromising a situation with this guy. That didn't actually happen, but it communicates more of what I'm saying, because a picture paints 1,000 words.
Yeah, but you're telling lies, caller.
Absolutely.
But that's not good. You
It's
damage
not wrong.
people's character.
Is it wrong
Yes, it's wrong.
to tell the truth?
No, it's wrong to tell lies on people.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. So they are using this technology to tell lies on people.
Professor,
Yes, sir.
if I was to demonstrate the Honorable, you call him, Fred Mitchell, in an LGBTQ environment through AI, would that be wrong? More wrong to say, I believe that Fred Mitchell identifies with the LGBTQ the community.
Okay.
Did you get a question?
I got it. Yeah, but
You confused me. But the point I'm making, if you make a picture of it, it paints 1,000 words. But if you just say it, it goes over a lot of people's head, like you always say. The man said that you you write it down for behemoths, they miss it. But you put it in AI, they'll probably get it. You see the point I'm making? I'm not judging anybody. But the people who are against AI, watch it now, are the people who are committing these offenses that AI can, like DNA, can make them guilty or show their compromising risk.
Can they bring the evidence?
Well, the evidence is what?
What
the
is
evidence
the evidence?
Only that this man is homosexual.
No, but
That's
the point
the
is that's a remark being made. But can they prove it? That the
And you
particular
can
personality. No,
can we prove it?
No, but hear me out.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to go that way, right? And I don't want to get into the ways
Absolutely.
and why, but we'll just speak generally.
Yes, sir.
If a particular person is a homosexual, can
Yes,
you
sir.
prove it?
Should we vote for him?
No.
No, and
I will
doing
not
every
support
effort I
any
can
homosexual.
to show
And
these
if
to the
we
people.
know that one is, we have to let the people in that constituency know.
Absolutely.
Now that's being truthful
And godly.
and godly, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But I don't think you should use technology to lie on people, man.
Well, let me ask you a question, sir. How does AI or technology lie on a person?
Well, I've heard people make the complaints. They're saying they didn't say it when they made those remarks about the Governor
Didn't
General.
say it.
That the Governor
Yes,
General
sir.
didn't say that. The man who is in charge of the
Absolutely.
central bank.
Can I tell you how to do that?
But I don't want to get into all of that.
Well, I could
I
show
don't want
you,
to be
but
involved in giving misinformation to the public.
we're trying to save a country.
No, we can save this country.
One more election. AI is very simple. Just get a guy 10 seconds of what he's talking about, and they will show his voice in that. And he'll sound almost, but come on, he won't sound exactly. But the point I'm making, Professor, is that the people who are posting these things, like myself, are posting these to actually literally slap your Bahamian people who are sleeping. Hey, look at this. This is real. Sir, you wouldn't believe, I'm going to let you go right now because I don't want to take up your own show. I know a lot of people listen to me. You wouldn't believe what I went through today, well, yesterday too, from this so-called Emancipation Day.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
My God, emancipation what? From the slavery of Haiti? And it's happening right now, sir. And I went there today. And, I called your show on reports of what NIB is doing, but I couldn't get my point on.
Okay.
So I am asking you, if a person from John Q. Public,
Yes.
brings his interest to you when you are covering these shows, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you are challenged, you are governed, what God word is, you are
The word of God.
commanded.
Oh, yeah, commanded.
Yes,
That's right.
to cover these shows and bring it back in the name of the Lord himself.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay?
That's
and
what
I'm
we
not
have to
going
go
to go
by.
further than that.
Yeah, well,
Every
thank
time I
you.
listen to you, I hope you're bringing back the word, like your disclaimer said at the beginning. Whatever they say does not necessarily reflect, but I know it reflects Professor Walter Anthony.
Well, what I say, I stand by that.
Thank
That
you,
ain't
sir.
changing. But it's an interesting conversation. We got to talk about that a little bit more.
I keep going.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Bahamians, let us use the technology, but not to tell lies on people. Let's not go there because then that's going to cause problems. I want to go to the rallies because I want to get the exact, precise information on what the people say. So I have a recording and I know this is how it was said. This is the context it was said in. I can work with that. But you can't work with it if you don't have it, Bahamians. That's why attention to these rallies are very, very important. And it's important that they come over the airwaves so that the people can hear it while it is happening and we can use it as backup for the campaign because many things are going to be happening. All kinds of strange things are going to be happening. We need a strong media. I want to be part of that strong media. That's why I'm asking for your support. Give Professor Sidney Walter Thompson the opportunity to get it done. And them other fellows who are scared, don't worry about them. I'll get it done. You just put that support in place and it'll get it done. Send me that email, 7,000 or more of you to send me that email today. I want 7,000 of you to send me an email like that every day. And put your name, your phone numbers on there and say you prepared to support Professor Sidney Walter Thompson. That's all you got to say. And I'll tell you how you could support me. Because you say you like what's going on. But there are a number of things we have to do, Bahamians. And it costs money. So we need your strong financial support. I got to be honest with the Bahamian people. And I side with no political party. Let me make that very clear. So don't try figure in your head if professor is this or professor is that. He's none of them. He stands with the Holy Bible and the Constitution. That's what I stand on. Nothing more, nothing less. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. Of course, tomorrow I expect to have a special guest. Again, I apologize for being late today, but the sun really beat me down. But I'll make sure I get here tomorrow early. Please pray for the show. Pray for your Professor Sidney Walter Thompson, that God will keep me through these difficult times. This is Professor Sidney Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon.